But you could tell how nervous I was in that first video, and then I grew to get good at it over time, and I posted every week for like 4 years straight.
Every week.
Yeah, every week.
4 years. So that's like 200 plus. Just consistent.
Yeah, from when I was 10 years old all the way till 14, and then I transitioned to other
crazy because
platforms.
by the time you were entering basically like 8th grade, you've already got more practice experience in your belt than basically every person.
I mean, it's weird when you say it like that. Yeah, you're right.
Cool.
Yeah. You know, you ever have that feeling when you know it's the one?
You're shooting something and you just know it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, it's like this is like sentimental. People are going to relate to this. People are going to love this, and people are going to feel a certain way towards it. I've had clips like that where the audio was like not on. Like when the mics are not on, it's like the most frustrating thing because it's not like you can even like get the camera mic because it's plugged in. So it's like literally dead air. It's the worst.
So you capture like a magical moment.
Right.
And you're like, oh, but I didn't record it.
It's like, dude, it's my cameraman loves to mess with me. Like, dude.
We didn't get it.
We didn't get it, man. Oh my God, I forgot to turn it on. Like,
how did you meet your cameraman?
I have a lot of different people who work the camera for me, but it's all my roommates. I moved here with like 5 of my best friends from high school.
Oh wait,
yeah.
You came out as a group, like the squad.
Yeah. We started at a creator house.
No way. What's the name of the
it was called
house?
The Pound LA.
Yo, I like it. How you come up with the name?
So we call each other dogs all the time. Like, what's up, dog? How's it going, dog? Like, dog was like our like lingo, and so like dog house, dog pound. You know, like so yeah, the pound.
Do
LA.
you still live with them?
We don't do the creator house anymore, but after we did the creator house, we still lived together for a while.
Yeah.
And then 2 of them have moved. Nate and Josh both. Okay. Nate went to Hawaii, and Josh moved out to an apartment on his own. And then next year, I'm moving out to my own place, and so it was cool, man. I mean, we all came out here together.
Blowing up.
No, man.
I love it. So for those of you who don't know, this is the man. This is Seandoesmagic,
hey.
One of the top magic creators today.
Thank you, man.
His dream to host the Oscars.
Yes, that is true. One day, I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Actually, you know what? That I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're gonna manifest.
I just really do feel it. It's really weird because it's such an out there goal, especially where I'm at right now.
Yeah, actually, how did you come up with it?
Well, I've always been a host. Like in high school, I competed as a news anchor. There was like this competition where it's statewide and nationwide. You can compete as like a news anchor, and so I competed and we took second place in state like a couple times.
Wait, there was like a competition on being a news anchor.
It's called Skills USA.
Skills USA.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's not just news anchor, but it's like workforce jobs. So like you could compete in welding, you can compete in like a bunch of customer service was one. I competed in that and I placed last. So
so terrible at customer service, but great at magic, great at hosting.
Yeah.
It's like you're making like your character selection screen and it's just like extremely good at one thing and like terrible at everything else.
Horrible customer service. I just freaked out the whole time because how they did the competition is they simulated like angry customers.
So like someone comes up to you like, Sean, you got this wrong.
And I'll be like, and then the phone would ring at the same time. And I'll be like, 1 sec. And while I'm answering the phone, they're yelling at me. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do right now. And so I just freaked out. And so I got last.
Okay, but how did the news anchor one work? So you like read off a teleprompter?
Yeah, so they gave us stories for the day.
Yeah.
And they had us write out the stories. And we had to have like a minimum of 5 stories for the segment.
Oh, that's so
And then
cool.
we had to find transition points. So how do you transition from one story to another? And it was me and actually my current roommate, Aiden Rowley. Me and him both took second place 2 years in a row. So
see, I get that because even when we were just talking before, I was actually really excited to do this with you because, man, I wanted to get to know you better. We see each other, but we never got to the
man, I appreciate it. Yeah.
But I was just talking to you. I'm like, yo, this boy's so charismatic. Like,
thank you.
Forget the magic, right?
Hey,
Because we
I
actually
appreciate
talk.
it.
And now I'm like, oh, okay, this is a skill. This is something you know how to do. Like you were good at this even in school. So when you were doing this previously and you were going to these news anchor competitions, was this something that came naturally or were you just good at it?
Well, man, I've been doing YouTube since I was 10. So I was in front of a camera.
10 years old.
I was 10 years old. And it was my magic videos. I was doing magic videos literally since I was 10 years old. And so I've been natural in front of the camera. I mean, obviously at first I sucked. Like if you look at my old videos,
do you still have any?
It's up on my oldest channel.
Okay. What's your oldest channel called?
Consolidatorable. It's so weird.
Wait. Consolidatorable.
But if you just want to find the video, it's Card Tricks on Mulberry Street. It was me doing magic and rhyming like Dr. Seuss.
Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss. Make me laugh just like Mother Goose.
Forget Seandoesmagic, his Korean channel. Everyone check out Card Tricks on Mulberry Street.
Dude, it's so bad. But you could tell how nervous I was in that first video. And then I grew to get good at it over time. And I posted every week for like 4 years straight.
Every week?
Yeah,
so
every week.
4 years. So that's like 200 plus, just consistent.
Yeah, from when I was 10 years old all the way till 14. And then I transitioned to other
crazy because by the
platforms.
time you were entering basically like 8th grade, you've already got more practice experience in your belt than basically every person.
I mean, it's weird when you say it like that. Yeah, you're right.
Cool. Yeah. Wow. So you did it with your dad. Is this something like, was it like a father-son thing? Like, how did you get
at first
into
it was just my dad making sure that I wasn't like saying anything wrong, like doing anything. Like he was just looking out for me. He didn't really know the world of social media.
He didn't want you to get canceled 10 years later.
He was looking out for me.
He was looking out.
He was the greatest PR.
He saw this coming. He's like, yo, Sean, like, yo, son, we can't talk about this.
That's funny. It was great PR. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Dad, for being a great PR agent.
I really
forget everything else. But like, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. That was all right.
Not helping me with the rest of my dream, just that part.
Just that part.
He was just helping me at first, but then he had to approve all the videos that I uploaded.
All right.
He literally had to approve.
That guy was like your agent, your
Well,
manager.
he was just making sure that I wasn't like doing anything because he wasn't sure of the online world and like also like, you know.
How long ago was this now?
God, 2012.
2012. Okay.
And so the first 4 videos I posted, he kind of looked over, but then I started posting just like on my own.
And then he's like, okay, fine.
Yeah. He was very protective about social media. Like I wasn't allowed to have Instagram at first. And then I downloaded it without letting him know.
See, that's a flex, right? To like not be an Insta and then be like, boom, millions, verified, baby. When I do things, I do them right.
Hey, that's funny. Yeah. I mean, it was cool. My dad was definitely, he was like supportive, but he was also like wanted to make sure I was doing it right.
Okay, so now I understand your dad. It's not that he wanted you to do. He more just like, yo, I'll support you. I'll look out for you.
Yeah.
So then you wanted to do. You wanted to be on camera even when you were 10. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up watching YouTubers. You know, I was big on watching Minecraft YouTubers. That was like my thing back in the day. And just like watching Ryan Higa. He's phenomenal.
An inspiration to us all.
Literally. Everybody, our humor is built on like Smosh and like Ryan Higa and Jenna Marbles and all of them. But yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of their content growing up and just that really inspired me. And I before it was even like today, it's cool to be a YouTuber. Yeah. It's cool to be a TikToker.
Everyone wants to be one.
That's like, I saw an article where it's like the #1 dream.
47% of American
You know
kids.
the exact, you see, this is how Eric knows his numbers. Eric knows his numbers. 47%. That's crazy. But when it was back in, you know, my elementary school days and like going into middle school, like that was just like not at all. Like you either watch YouTube or you were like, what the I use YouTube to look up how to do
like
my
something
math.
super specific.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like you either had to have a little bit of like the theater kid in you, which is like I'm hearing that a little at your vibe, or like something like really like for me, I used to go look up old Super Smash Brothers Melee combo
Oh my
vids.
god, that's
like it's
so
very
great.
specific.
Yeah,
like, I want to see.
yeah.
It wasn't like I'll go on YouTube and I'll just see what the algorithm gives me.
Right. Yeah. So
that was the start.
Yeah, just started off on camera. So going into high school, I kind of already had that camera on me.
Yeah, the presence. So now
it was also mixed with, you know, being a magician, I'm also an entertainer and I'm a performer. And I was doing busking on the street. I was performing for people. I was performing at school. I was doing, you know, kids' birthday shows as a kid. It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing because I'd be booked as a magician for these kids' birthday parties that are older than me. It's weird. Literally fair. So weird. But yeah, so I was always a performer. And so adding the performing plus I already had cameras work, like it kind of just mixed in together
I always
perfectly.
feel like you're not even doing a magic trick now as far as I know, but it feels like you are. Like, isn't there that term in magic? It's like your patter, your pitter patter.
Yeah. That's
it's like your dialogue. Like you're talking, you're entertaining, and then you're doing something.
Right.
But I'm not focused because I'm just listening. I feel like you're not even doing a trick right now, and I'm just like.
Well, I mean, that's a huge thing of magic is like directing attention and like, you know, when to draw someone in, when to let them kind of.
See, you were just telling me about your relationship. Now I'm like, wow, I can see, I understand. You're just talking like, you know, you got to know how to like move around and be flexible and direct attention.
Hey, shout out Kayla.
Yo, thank you, Kayla. All right, let's get into it. So what we're going to do.
Okay.
It's a series of personal, intimate questions.
Okay.
Because like I said, I'm getting to know you for the first time.
Yes.
And your followers, they get to see you on camera.
Right.
Doing your smooth jazz, doing some magic tricks, seeing you hosting. But I feel like what they might not hear as much as what you just told me right now, the story, the background. Like I didn't know, and I've seen your content. I didn't know you want to host the Oscars.
Yeah, I don't talk about it too much.
Yeah, I just picture you like doing a trick and be like, so my dream.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I want to give you the space to do that. So
yeah, thank you.
The whole goal, and that's the principle behind this, is the best way to build relationships with people is through reciprocity and vulnerability. I share something, you share something.
Yes.
In the New York Times, they did a study on it. They have an article called 36 Questions to Fall in Love.
Wow.
And they randomly paired 2 people at a time. They go through these questions, and many of those pairs have became friends. In fact, one of those pairs ended up getting married to each other.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know, it's
I need to take notes.
Yeah,
I need to take notes. Okay.
So this is a game that has a version of this question. So the way it works is there's 3 levels. We're gonna start with level 1, then we're gonna go to level 2, level 3.
I'm ready.
And in terms of the very beginning, and this really I think it helps set the mood. So we're gonna make a little bit of eye contact, some intimate interpolation between us. And the first person to blink or looks away has to draw the first card.
Okay.
Does that sound good? All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wish we had some mood
Okay.
some
All right.
jazz
I got
here. All
this.
right. 3, 2, 1. God. I think I need to sleep more. I think that wasn't even an intimacy thing. I think I just need like eye drops, man.
No, I don't blame you, man.
Were you like, even close, or you're just like,
well, no. As soon as you blink, I was like, oh, okay, because it was starting to build up. I was like,
you're
oh
starting
shit,
to
yeah. It was more of like, because I practice. It's so funny. I practice eye contact, so I try my best. I try my best.
This is because it helps connect with the audience.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit of everything. Yeah, I remember like prior to my girlfriend, like 4 years ago, like I was like never been in a relationship, all this stuff. I'm like, man, and I was like, how to be more connecting, and then it's
I did this.
Yeah,
Google
100%.
How to talk to women.
What was it? There's this one YouTube channel, Productivity. No, it's not Productivity. God, I wish I remembered
Simple
it.
Pickup.
Well, there's that. Yes, everybody knows Simple Pickup. Everybody knows Simple
They're no
Pickup.
longer around.
Yeah,
that was the thing.
but there's a few. Charisma on Command.
I know Chris on Command.
Oh my God.
I met him at Vid Summit.
Oh my God. Well, that was like my
Charlie,
I would always watch their videos, and they're like, yeah, the way that their eye contact mixed with the way that they move around. I'm like, notes.
Yeah,
Let me do that.
So for me, actually, it's the same thing because so you mentioned right in school that you used to compete in these competitions where you'd be a news anchor. So for me, it was mock trial. Right?
Oh my God. Okay. I had friends that did that. Yes.
It's sort of similar.
Yeah.
You know, you got to know how to obviously be smart, but you also want to be good at talking, at guiding people. And so in a similar vein and philosophy to you, I was very awkward growing up. And so I was like, I want to like learn how to not be awkward. So I also read a lot.
Yeah.
It's like for me, for a long time, the eye contact, I would stare at their foreheads or their noses.
Oh, wow.
Because I feel like it simulate it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't know the difference.
That's so crazy.
So there's some similarity there. Well, in any case, clearly your training paid off.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely outscored me there. Okay, so I'm going to start with a level 1. They're going to be really, really easy. What does my Instagram tell you about me?
I would say the right word is down to do anything.
Oh,
yeah.
Very flattering.
I think
you.
so. I think, because you have so many, I've looked through your Instagram.
Yeah, thank you.
And there's a lot of different things. Like you have your work, you have your life, you have you out with friends. There's so many different avenues. So I think down to do anything.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, deep down, Sean, I always also wanted to be a creator. When you were telling me as a 10-year-old, you were on camera, I thought it was cool. I wanted to as well, but I was afraid. And so I went a different route, right? I went to Harvard. I worked in investment banking. I worked at Facebook.
Man.
Thank you, man. But it's a very corporate route.
Yeah.
So in a way, I got to do this is my way of being a little more out there.
That's so sick.
Right? And even on Instagram, it's me being a little more out there. So, Sean, I actually made my Instagram public yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah, you saw that.
I saw that.
Yeah, I added to my close friends.
I'm a close friend. I think that's like a big moment in my career. Like if I was to like write a autobiography, I'm gonna make a section just for Eric being
just a
on
whole chapter.
I think so because this is big. It's a big one.
It's like, yo, like killing on Instagram, getting millions of followers, then like getting on Eric's close friends, and then like hosting the Oscars.
Right. That's
like,
exactly the timeline.
These are like the 3 different parts of your book. I appreciate that. But like, yeah, I was just like, I got to go public at some point. And I was like, but I really like the curation part. Every one of the people who followed me was very deliberate.
Right. And
so I spent like 2 hours moving every single person I really wanted to like onto my close friends.
That's great.
So, okay, I'll answer this for you. I think, well, I'm so curious. So your Instagram, obviously it's public.
Yeah.
You're
a little bit
creator. Yeah. Did that grow from your private Instagram or was it a separate one?
That was so I have my own personal private.
So you have a secret private Instagram here. Hey,
I do.
Everyone's gonna look for it now.
I know. Good luck finding it. Unless you know my nickname, you won't be able to.
Sean does more real magic.
Sean does everything.
Yeah, Sean does whatever. Yeah.
No, that was my original Instagram account, and so when I first started, I was just posting for my friends, for my schoolmates, whatever, all that. Then I wanted to take Instagram more seriously. I started posting on there, and it went from my main account to my really main account, super public account, and then I have my own private account for all of my close friends, like people that I know personally, etc. Yeah.
So how do you come up with the handle Seandoesmagic?
That's a great question. So I told you I was a huge fan of Minecraft growing up, and one of the biggest Minecraft users had 10 million subscribers back in 2013, which that's a big deal.
For sure.
Yeah,
back
10
in the
million,
day.
10 million today is just like insane. Like Eric just hit that, and that's such a big accomplishment. But back then, that's like
unheard of.
Yeah,
very few.
And so one of them was Minecraft. He was big.
I remember he's kind of not as active.
No, he's not. And he changed his name to Net Nobody.
Yeah.
And he was doing music a little bit, but he's not really in the creator space as of right now. But he was huge. And Sky does Minecraft, and I remember there was a time where I was told by someone like, yo, my original name was Sean Sotaridona, which is my actual name. Yeah. And they're like, yo, one of my friends was like, yo, your name's not really that searchable. And it's so funny because when I think of this person right now, his name's Nick Alder. He's literally just like, just one of my friends that was in high school. And he's not like a creator. Today he's not a creator. I believe he goes to college and whatnot. And he was like, yo, your name's like not really that searchable. You got to make it easy to search. And I was like, you're right. You're right. And so that day I changed it to Seandoesmagic. Sky does Minecraft. Yeah.
That's such a good parallel. And I mean, you got a lot of franchising opportunities there. Like you were saying, right? Sean does everything. Sean does Minecraft. Sean does the Oscars.
Dude, that became a meme in my high school. Because people I started building a following while I was in school.
Yeah.
And people made parody accounts where you can literally look this up. Sean Does Cooking is a thing, and it's me photoshopped with like a chef hat and like a ladle. Like it's a real thing. Sean Does Gaming is one. They put a headset on me.
I love it.
Sean does there's one where it's like Sean Does Now, and like they would take photos of me at school.
Just like casual.
Yeah, and there's like photos of me like eating lunch.
Wait, you've secretly come up with like the most genius. Like there's so many things.
Not,
Sean does philosophy. Sean does college. Sean does dating. Like there's so many things.
That was my second account. Sean Does Everything was my second account. So
I thought you were gonna say Sean does dating.
No. Yeah, that would have been blank about 6 months ago.
It's just like nothing, and then one photo.
Nope.
Sean does everything. So that was an account. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, let's this time. You draw level 1 and I'll answer it.
Okay, all right, here we go. I feel like you're doing a magic trick for me because I'm picking a card.
Well, I feel like even seeing you pull out the cards, there's like cardistry.
Kind of, I guess. Yeah. All right. Question is, what fast food restaurant do you think I'm most likely to drive through, and what's my order?
I felt like the dignity that you gave me that question like far exceeded the actual question because it's that skill. It's just that news anchor talent right there. I feel like fast food restaurant.
I used to be a huge fast food guy.
Wow, so this is hard. Okay, I'm trying to think. We're in LA.
Yeah.
So what is that burger? Isn't like In-N-Out real big here?
That In-N-Out is huge.
I'm gonna go In-N-Out.
Man, that's a good one. It's right next, literally lives like 1 minute away from where I live today.
Yeah.
There's an In-N-Out, and we used to go every single day because that was a huge thing for like, because I used to live in Portland and there were no In-N-Outs there.
In Oregon?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of like my hometown. Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington. I'm like right on the border.
Yeah, that's like Twilight. That's where they come from.
Yeah, that is
Washington,
exactly.
like Forks.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Okay, nice.
And so we were like so close to In-N-Out, and sometimes we'd even make the drive down to like Southern Oregon, which is the closest In-N-Out is.
Nice.
And so when we moved and we were like right down the street, we used to go every day. So you kind of nailed it.
All right.
Kind of nailed it. Yeah.
Well, okay, let's say not even In-N-Out. Let's say broaden it beyond fast food. If you could have, what's your favorite meal?
Oh my God.
Ever, period,
I
that you've
ate
had?
this for probably like 4 months straight, and I love eating it. I had it yesterday. Chipotle is like a big one for
I
me.
love
Dude,
Chipotle.
is so
Oh my
good.
God. Dude,
It's
I
so
eat
good.
it like once every single day.
Dude, it's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's so
No,
good.
when I was really on my health kick like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
that was like my meal.
Shonda's
It's
health.
good. Shonda's health.
So, you know, the Chipotle founder, he didn't set out to start Chipotle. He wanted to be a fine dining chef. And he
Wow.
only started Chipotle modeling it after taquerias in San Francisco as a way to like make some cash on the side to
No
support him
chance.
as he went to school, 100%. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna like do it and just like make some money and support my dreams of becoming a fine culinary chef. And then like Chipotle just started to take off.
Wow.
And he was like, okay, like I guess I'm gonna do this now.
That's so crazy. And you know what? That's the story of a lot of creators. You
How
know,
so?
I
'Cause
mean,
it just happened?
I think I hear this from creators all the time. Like
Yeah.
they're trying to work on whether it's acting or other realms of entertainment, you know, theater, et cetera, et cetera. And they go onto these platforms where they can start demonstrating these skills, these talents, and it becomes their main thing. I see it a lot. And a lot of people, it's like when I went to Playlist Live and I was talking and I was moderating a panel and I asked them how they got started, and everybody said it was an accident. They were just trying to entertain for their friends, and then it entertained a mass audience.
Actually, for you, what was that moment when you were like, I can do this?
That's a great question. It was more like, it wasn't more like man, I think I can do this. It's more like, man, I'm gonna do this.
Ooh, okay.
The reason I say
Okay.
that is because I've always wanted to make something out of the magic and out of, because I felt like I was I've been told ever since I was little, I was doing talent shows, I was doing performing, and they're like, man, you have like you're such a performer, like you'll be like, I can't wait to see you in Vegas. I remember
Camera loves you.
my teacher would say that to me all the time. Like, I can't wait to see you in Vegas, like performing on stage, all this stuff. And so I always wanted to be a performer, and I always thought that I had something special. And so with that, I auditioned for America's Got Talent 3 times. And if you don't know how that, actually 4 times.
Wow, okay.
If you don't know how this works, you don't actually audition in front of the judges at first. You have to audition in front of producers to get approved to be on the show.
Makes sense.
And every year for 4 years straight, I got rejected.
Damn.
Yeah. And it was like, for like a 14-year-old kid, this is just like the most like heartbreaking thing.
You had a dream. You really were like, I can do this.
Yeah, it was like a huge thing, and I would spend 3 months of the year just like nailing down this perfect performance.
Yeah.
Just to be told no the day of, and so it killed me. And then the 3rd year that I went in, after that, there are I can send you the photos to put up. You can see it on the screen right now.
Right here.
It is me in Vegas. I auditioned, and my dad still wanted me to go check out Vegas after, but I was heartbroken. So it's me half smiling, like almost tears coming out my eyes, in front of like the Vegas like tourist areas. And it's just me like that, like just so sad. You can see the sadness in my face. And after that, that's when I was like, I don't need America's Got Talent. I need to do this. I want to do this myself. And that's when it was like more like, I can do this. And so that's when I went into
I love it.
social media full time. I was like, I say full time, I'm 14, but you know what I'm saying? Like as much time as I could to put into social media, I tried to.
That's insane. Young Sean, upon being deprived of the opportunity to show his talent, made a commitment. I don't need you guys. I'm going to do this myself.
I tried, man. I tried. It was actually kind of funny. I remember I was laying in bed and I clicked on a video that Dennis Rody, I don't know if you're familiar.
Nah, but
Dennis
go on,
Rody, he was a prankster on YouTube, but he,
Okay.
for some reason that day he didn't post a prank. He posted a video with working with Fearless Motivation.
Yeah.
And it was this motivation page, and they did one together where it was like him running and it was like motivation. And that was my first time watching any motivating content. But I remember thinking to myself, like, I got this. I'm gonna do it. And I listened to that, like, I still listen to it sometimes.
I love it.
And it's great. So yeah, Dennis Rody, we're actually mutuals now, which is crazy.
Like, yo, what a come up. What a moment.
But yeah, so he posted that, and that really fueled, like, I realized that motivation like that really fuels me, and it's like it kept me going. I would like listen to podcasts, and since I was like younger, I would listen to podcasts and whatnot, and that would have been like kind of my driving force.
See, to me, I feel there's a few inflection points, moments in your life you look back where like I made a decision that revealed who I am. And I feel like for you, right, that's a big moment. You're like, this is who I'm going to be. I'm going to build it myself. And that's why when I hear you say, hey, like, I'm going to be on Oscars, I don't take that lightly, right? This is the next ambition.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, yeah, I really do believe it. There is a world in the near future where that happens. And that it's not anytime soon. I'm not saying that it's going to be like next year.
But it's possible.
But double my life plus 10 years, when I'm 50, I will be on that stage. Like, it will.
You've already accomplished so much in just 10 years.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, I really feel like the decision to do your own thing requires a lot of conviction in yourself and a belief that nobody is doing things that you couldn't theoretically do. Right? Like there's like some element of that you have to believe about yourself.
I mean, it was honestly like it was a lot of my environment, and like you know, obviously a lot of the self-esteem that my mom really believed in me. Like she was always very proud of me all the time. Every time I performed, she's like, "Good job!" Like she was my biggest fan.
Does she understand what you have accomplished and what you're doing today now?
Yeah. She keeps. I swear to God, every time I call her, which is every few days, I called her today. She watches my page like a hawk. And it's funny because, she actually kind of roasted me today because I started doing social media like more actively this last month. And she's like, wow, like you're not losing followers anymore. I'm like, Mom, whoa. She's like, yeah, you went up 12,000. I'm like, how do you?
Are you Social Blade?
I know, like she is Social Blade. Hey, Social Blade, if y'all need someone to hire,
sponsor Sean's mom.
My mom is very good with the analytical side, so feel free.
She's like, I helped raise Seandoesmagic. I can do the same for you.
Yeah, so she watches my page. She was like, yeah, you're up 1,000, you're down 1,000, like you're almost at 6 million, you're almost at this, like whatever it is.
Okay,
like,
first of all, shout out to your mom. Second, wait, what about your dad? Does your dad follow track?
So my dad, I would say like, you know, Gary Vee talks about this a lot, how he's perfectly parented. He says that, and he says he's releasing a book actually called Perfectly Parented. This is not a plug. I just heard this recently.
You're like, Gary, I'm doing it for you.
Shout out Gary. But recently I was thinking about that, and I was like, wow, I was kind of also in the similar boat because my mom instilled like charisma. She was very charismatic. She's such like a wholesome, loving character. And she's just like very present when you talk to her. And so she gave me that side. And it's weird because my mom was like the prom queen, and my dad was like the nerd, the valedictorian.
Ooh,
yeah, so it was like kind of like, and so my dad, one thing that I did get from him is he's like such a hard worker. Yeah, like he grew up very poor in the Philippines, and it was never like a thought in his head that he would ever make it to the U.S. because that's like the dream if you're in the Philippines. But he got picked as like a recipient to study in the Netherlands. That's actually where I was born.
Wow.
And so from there, he
hustled from the Philippines to the Netherlands.
Yes. And he was able to get a PhD in the Netherlands, and then he got a job offer in the U.S.
What was his PhD in?
Mathematics and statistics.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Smart.
Super. I almost failed math a billion times, and my dad hated me for it. It's like so opposite. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. What is cos? What? No.
Yeah. Cosine?
I don't know that. And so he was a hustler, and so I got like the charismatic and the hustle mixed together, and so it was a good mix.
Really got that. So my parents, no cap, very much the same.
Really?
So my parents from Shanghai. My dad also has a PhD.
Oh my god! Whoa!
Yeah,
are we related? I feel like we're related.
From another mother.
Yeah.
So he has a PhD in physics, and also grew up super poor in China. It was like literally those urban legends. Like, yeah, he like learned to read English from like school books thrown out on the street. But like actually worked super hard.
Super
he
similar.
Was, like, ranked like top like 15 in China in physics or something. So he got permission from the government to go study in North America because of that. And like, top 15 in China, that's hard. That's
not like
goes hard.
That's like the top of the top.
Yeah, they got a.
That's like being top 15 League of Legends in Korea.
It's like, if you won in a million in China, good job, buddy. There's 1,000 plus more like you.
So tough. So tough.
He's like super hardworking. And like, let's be real, on the social piece, he's like, not so good.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any friends. Like, never really figured that part out.
Yeah.
But my mom is a charmer. She's always been.
Oh my God. Wow. Same story.
I see it. And like, I remember growing up and like seeing my mom basically just be like super nice to people.
Yeah.
And be like, see, Eric, like this is how you get the things you want in life. You gotta be nice. You gotta treat people right. And when you're a kid, I think, you internalize. It's like, oh, okay. Like, thanks, Mom. And like, there's a good and a bad side to it. I think the bad side is like, oh, cool. Now I like am anxious and care about what people think of me. But the good part of it was like, you like want to be a good person. Right, you want to have good vibes. Yeah,
that's great. And
that's
phenomenal.
Again, that's something my dad didn't have at all.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, well, I'm feeling a little. That's what he said. That's why he said peachy. I was like, oh, like what was it? Like, was it the same? Like, do we have the same dad? Like.
Yeah, very similar. Oh, that's great.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go on to question level 2. I'm gonna ask you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Ooh, okay, this is a good one. Sean, describe your perfect day.
Oh my God. This would have been different 6 months prior. Before my girlfriend.
How so? Okay.
Yeah.
Like 6 months ago, I wake up and I sit alone and I stare at my computer
and I cry.
Yeah, and I cry.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Oh God. Well, I've been in a relationship for the last 6 months and been very, very happy with it. And so, I would say my perfect day, would have a combination of both with my girlfriend and also working, because I have an unbelievable satisfaction of completing a video. Like something about completing content for me really, like, I just feel it's like the biggest, it doesn't matter if it does well or not. Like, as long as I complete something for the day, biggest release of serotonin. Like that's my drug right there. And so I would say my perfect day, I've been loving working out recently.
Ooh, you're on a health kick.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to do a fight next year.
You're trying to do a what?
A fight, yeah.
Like Creator Clash style?
Creator Clash 2. I'm trying to be a part of in April.
Yo, my God.
Actually,
I was at the first one.
You were at the first one?
I was representing my boy Graham Steffan.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, that's I've been in contact with Dr. Mike. We've been working on it. So
all right.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm training 5 days a week. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like you take off. This is like your pump cover. You like take off your hoodie and just like,
stop.
Like super saiyan mode.
No, man. But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so I would say working out with my girlfriend in the morning, having a great breakfast.
That's cute.
Spending some time just working on some videos, drafting concepts. I love filming with my girlfriend too. So if there's any way that she can be involved with that, whatever the concept might be,
why not?
It would have that. And then. And in the day, one of my favorite moments, like throughout my days, is just like eating while watching Netflix with my girlfriend. That's like one of my favorite things.
Like chill, relax.
Yeah,
time.
and that's usually towards the end of the day. And honestly, that right there is a perfect day for me. I'm also very social, so if I throw in like going out with friends, like I don't know, somewhere in the middle, that would definitely be something.
Okay,
something like
one that is awesome. 2.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you love shooting content with your girlfriend. Has she done this before? Is she also part of the creator world?
But she's great on video, and I don't know how she's great, and she's like witty.
Ooh.
She's very witty.
Okay, that's awesome.
And so like I don't even need, like I go to events with her, and I just like sometimes I'm doing stories and I pan to something and then I pan to her and she immediately knows. She's
funny
just like,
comment.
Yeah, she's like right there. And so yeah, she's great on video. And so yeah, it's been really good. We've been filming more content more and more recently. Ooh. And she's told me that she wants to start. I'm like, yo, I got you. Like
I love it. The Sean Does franchise.
That's what I'm saying.
You can do it too. Just put her name in.
Kayla does.
Kayla
whatever.
does. Awesome magic. Maybe.
Facts. Yeah.
Yo,
so I mean, that would definitely be a perfect day for me.
Yo, that's wholesome. All right, level 2. Your turn.
Okay. All right. Let me give you a good one.
All right. How are the cards?
I don't think.
I was gonna say, picking the card is typically luck, but in the hands of a magician.
Right here. I think this is the one. This is the one right here.
All right, let's go for it.
I think I could do a magic trick with these.
I think you could. Let's see if it's a banger.
Okay. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay.
I love the way you're like.
This is great. Wow, this is a little bit more deeper. If you have, when was the moment you realized you weren't invincible?
Before I answer that, I just want to say your hands are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I get my nails done.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're a magician. Because I was noticing you like hold the cards. It's like, my man, my king, he's got nice hands.
Thank you. I picked that up. I don't know. my hands are always on video.
Oh no, for you that's super important.
Yeah,
like, there are people. It's gonna be zoomed in
so I
and
might
everything.
as well have them look nice.
No,
you know,
I love it. So
thank you.
To answer your question, when was the moment I realized I wasn't invincible?
Yes.
So I think 2 thoughts.
Yeah.
I think I never really thought I was invincible.
Okay, that's fair. You know, that's a very fair.
I did not have one of those like parental situations where it's like, yeah, Eric, like you can do everything. Like you got this. And then later on in life, I had to have a moment where I was like, oh no, like I can't. I think for me, it was like growing up, like you need to work hard because you can't do anything.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like in China, you would be already at the kindergarten level.
Damn.
Like you need to get better. Like you might be in the accelerated class here, but in China, you'd be 3 grades back, right?
Hey, if you know, you know. If you know,
exactly. So I think I grew up not so much thinking I was invincible and waiting for the moment not. I think it was more thinking that I wasn't good at anything. But, and here's the second part.
Right.
That if I worked hard enough, I could like probably do it. So it's like, not I'm invincible. It's more like I'm completely helpless. But if I work hard enough, I can make up for it and accomplish it.
Yeah.
So I think my version of this question is, when's the moment I realized you can work as hard as you want and you might not get it? I think I've realized over the past few years, like, I think I used to believe if you work hard enough, you'll get it.
Yeah.
And I think that would fixate my mind a lot on like outcomes. Like, I want to get this prestigious reward or like work at this company or hit this milestone. Because like, hey, you know, if I work hard enough, I'll get it and I'll feel really good. And then I realized, no, like kind of you talked about the Oscars. The whole point of what's meaningful is you don't know for sure. Like you're going to do it, but there's a lot of uncertainty.
Yes.
Enough that it's not like a sure thing.
Yeah.
Enough that you can try really hard on things and actually not hit them.
Yeah, yeah, that's fast.
And I think, I'm trying to think the first moment I realized, you know, I think it was actually just like in college where I had like studied really hard. I was a good Asian son. I got into Harvard and then I was like pretty depressed there.
That's crazy. Harvard?
Yeah.
Put that on the resume.
Thank you. Because I just like wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't doing all my classes.
Right.
And I didn't have friends. And it didn't matter. It felt like it didn't matter how hard I tried. I wasn't going to get either of those things, like grades or friends. And I think I had a moment where I think I just had to accept and realize like, hey, like I'm not actually going to achieve everything that I have the intention to do. And that was like a very sobering thought. And I think the past like 10 years since then, I've like reconciled this is, like you don't know. I can't know if I'm going to. That's why it's really important to find things that the journey and process itself, I still enjoy.
Right.
Because even if I don't hit that outcome, if I still like what I'm doing along the way, it's still a win.
And it's never, ever really a loss if you keep going. You know? I mean, there's never really, because like, it's really true. I think this is a quote, but it's like the only loss is once you quit, really. And so,
ends. It reminds me, do you know this creator named Ben Owad? He used to be on YouTube. He made coding content.
I know the name.
Yeah. So he used to have a lot of videos on, hey, I tried this new startup idea and like it didn't work.
Oh my gosh.
And like there were a lot of startup ideas that didn't work.
Wow.
But I talked to him about it and he's like, sometimes people come to me like, Ben, like you've tried like your 10th startup idea and like it failed. Like, isn't that kind of like lame? He's like, no, you don't get it. Like I enjoy it and I'm making videos through the process. Even when I fail, people like to watch it, people learn. So like I'm winning either way. Like,
exactly.
If it works out, great. If it doesn't work, like I got some great content and video out of
There's
it.
no loss. There's no loss.
I like that. And so I think that philosophy, even if you're not making content, but like, cool, I'm not going to regret having tried it.
Yeah. And there's that, one of my all-time favorite quotes is like, everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson. And I love that quote because there's no loss ever. Everything that ever happens to you.
What do you feel like is a lesson that you've recently been through?
Oh God. That's a great question.
Yeah.
A lesson that I've been through recently. I think I'm seeing this with a lot of my friends, and this has always kind of been my philosophy. But I'm seeing it a lot more recently. Is like kind of like you always shoot your shot, no matter what.
Of course, you got
You know, you will never lose from shooting your shot.
Yeah.
At the very least, it puts it out there into the world. Yeah. And you know, I've been thinking about that with like opportunities and things that come up when people ask me if I want to be involved in things or whatnot. And I try to think more like, you know what, this could put me in a position where you never know what could come out of it. And so I think that, you know, I've been trying to work on social media a lot more recently after finding my work-life balance. And so through that, I've been offered a lot of different opportunities. Yep. And, you know, I've had my most successful week this week because I've been saying yes and I've been shooting my shot. I've been putting myself out there. So I think that's been like a big lesson that I've learned recently.
I love that.
Thank you, man.
Shooting your shot's hard because, right? Because like I shoot my shot and it fails and I just feel dumb. And I think it's having to remind yourself like, nah, the process of doing it has value and it's only going to leave you better.
Yeah. There's God, I don't mean to be like such a quote person.
Please, dude, but, I'm learning, man. Yeah. Sean does quotes today.
There's that quote that goes, no risk means no reward.
Yes.
But there's a part 2 to that. So no risk means no reward. And sometimes the best reward is knowing that you had the guts to take the risk in the first place. And so that is something that it's also like a big part of my life.
Yeah, there's like value to appreciate just from having decided to go for it.
Right. Facts, man.
What do you feel is like the riskiest thing you've ever tried? Whether it paid off or not, you know, and lessons are blessings.
Right. Yeah, I love
one
it.
way or another.
I think the biggest risk was moving to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It was definitely a huge one. And, you know, I moved here with the Pound LA, which was my 5 friends from high school. And we all created content. And a couple of them were very new to creating content. Yeah. Like when we moved, Nate, he started making basketball videos on TikTok 3 months, right? But he was finding success. He was at like 500,000 in the first few months. Wow. And so we were very new, but not everybody was making an income. I had some sustainable income. My friend Aiden had a little bit, but everybody else were trying to figure it out together. And, you know, there were times where we were trying to figure out how we were going to pay for rent and trying to figure out how we were going to make it as we moved to Los Angeles. Like we started a couple months just in our hometown, just living together. And then we were trying to make money prior to going to Los Angeles. Didn't work, but we said, fuck it, let's just go to Los Angeles. And those couple months were, if you ask anybody in the house, were some of the hardest months because we were trying to figure it out. We were living in a 2-bedroom house with 5 of us sharing beds. I was sleeping in the living room. Like it was kind of like all over the place. And, you know, trying to have not just me, not just Aiden, not just, you know, but all of us succeed was definitely a huge risk. And then, you know, we found a blessing through Snapchat Spotlight.
I remember.
That was like a huge one.
Yeah.
And we all were able to benefit from it and we all made money and we are all like, we're able to live and like thrive till this day.
Oh my gosh, that was the boost.
Yeah.
You needed.
Yeah. And it's like, if we weren't in the position where we moved, would we have even had that opportunity?
It's like, sure, Snap could have gone and announced, hey, we're going to go super hard in Spotlight.
Right.
But if you had stayed where you'd been in Portland, if you hadn't been taking that risk, you wouldn't have been able to take the opportunity.
Right, exactly.
But of course, when you first decided to move, you didn't know Spotlight was even going to come through. Yeah, you almost have to take a bet on yourself and just be like, you know, someone comes like, yo, what's the plan? Yeah. It's like, I actually don't know, but I'm going to stay on my toes and look for the opportunity.
Exactly. And for all of us to still be living in LA today, except for one moved to Hawaii.
Sure, yeah.
But, you know, that's just like a testament to like our work and like taking the risk.
I love that. All right, I think we're ready. Level 3.
Woo!
I'll ask you one.
Okay.
A couple. All right, here's a good one.
Okay.
What has this conversation taught you about yourself?
Wow, that's a good one. Eric, bro. God, what has this conversation taught me about myself? God, that's good. You know, you ever have those things where like you don't realize things until someone like even as obvious as it could be, you don't realize how like that it applies to it's like true to yourself.
Yeah.
When you said earlier that I had 200 plus videos by the time I was 14, I didn't realize that I was really like, that was like kind of my foundation, my 10,000 hours. So that was something that I learned through this conversation is that, wow, like sometimes I feel like it was luck. You know, sometimes I feel like what I was doing was just like, I was just in the right place at the right time moment. Like, you know, I happened to be born, have these parents that, you know, gave me these genetics to do this. But then when you put it into the words where it's like you had 200 videos, I was grinding, posting every day a week for, you know, 4 years straight. That's where you realize that, wow, like I worked myself to be in the position that I am today. And that's what I learned about myself.
I love that.
Thank you.
I think, yeah. everything you said sure helped, but you made a decision to put in that work. That's your foundation. That's your body of work that helped you be as good as you are. You didn't just wake up and be magically good, man. You worked hard for it. And
thank you.
I see you still working hard every day.
I appreciate it. But yeah, it's not until you have conversations like this that you kind of start to realize that a little bit more.
It's like the step back on the story of your life as you share it and you hear other people's reactions, and then you're like, oh, like I guess this was kind of a big deal. Like, all right, I'm gonna give myself a little more credit here now.
You know, sometimes you forget to smell the roses and whatnot. So yeah, I feel it.
Man, I'm glad. See, now I feel good. I'm like, all right, I helped contribute today.
Thank you.
All right, let's do it. Let's close it out. Level 3. You're gonna pull it.
I got it. This one right here. All right, here we go. Oh wow. Okay. I kind of don't want to do this one.
You can do a different one.
Because it's more about me than you. The question is, what about me surprised you? But I would love to learn more about you.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that one back.
Put it back, and we'll pick a different one.
Okay. Oh, did I put it on the wrong way?
No. I was just going to take it out.
Okay.
There we go.
Here we go. Let's do this. Level 3. Okay. Okay. This is an interesting one. Still kind of about us both, but I like this one. Why do you think we met?
Ooh. So, I mentioned in the beginning when we started speaking, I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm getting to chat with you for the real time.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Because when I saw you initially, I didn't get to talk with you properly.
Right.
It was at BOA. In one of the back rooms that Paul set us up with.
Right.
And Jade Dharmawangsa. Did I say her name right?
Yeah, I believe
Jade,
so.
If you're watching, I'm trying my best. We'll like put a little photo of her face right here. So we were hosting a creator dinner.
Yeah.
And Jade was like, hey, one of my friends is here.
Yeah.
Can you come join? I was like, yeah, sure, of course. The more, the merrier.
Yeah.
Right? And so I saw you super briefly. We did like, hey, like, how's it going? But we didn't actually talk.
Right.
But what's neat is I saw you around like a couple more times. I remember you came to our casino night event with Evan. I think I saw you at VidCon.
Yes.
And each time I got to know you like a little bit better. And so I think there's really 2-3 points that I want to talk about why I think we met. The first one is I've really come to realize, hey, you can't go wrong if you just try and meet good people.
Right.
So the same thing, like when you moved out here from Portland, you didn't know what was going to happen, but you had a few principles in your head, right? It's like hustle, work hard, meet people. And I got to meet you because I was like, yeah, I want to host events where I get to spend time with cool people and maybe meet who they think are cool as well. And
that's great.
Like if you think about it, the only reason I got to meet you that first time is because, we set it up. And like I was out there, and like you were out there too. Like both of us, we were out there at like a place where we'll meet a lot of other people, right?
Crazy to look back on.
Yeah, and if either of us was just like, man, like I'm feeling tired today, or like, nah, like I don't want to socialize, we wouldn't have made that initial connection. Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
I think the second thing in terms of why do I think we met, and by met I mean like really getting to know each other, is on both sides. This actually is the whole point of what we're doing today. It's about reciprocity. Each moment I got to interact with you, it like piqued my interest a little bit more. I was like, okay, I'm like getting to know him like a little bit better, and I like this. And every time I saw you, like we chat a little, right? Like, hey, how's it going, right? And each time you chatted with me as well. It goes both ways. And so I think the second is you and I both wanted to get to know each other up until today where, Sean, man, I shot my shot. I was like... Yeah, and I saw you respond to my story. I was like, oh, wait, like, I'd love to, like, get a one-on-one, like, properly understand this individual.
Oh, my God, man.
And I was like,
likewise.
Thank you, dude. So I was like, ooh, like, he's probably busy. He's probably got 50,000 things. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to shoot my shot and see if he's free to come swing by. Yeah. And so I woke up today. I was so psyched. I was like, yo, I gotta do this with Sean. I gotta know him as a human being. So I think now... I feel like this is the first time we're properly getting to meet. 100%. And there's a lot of this sort of life, right? A lot of principles and decisions and circumstances and that interest in both of our sides that help bring us to where we are now.
That's great. That's like the best answer. God.
Thank you, man.
Hey.
I was trying to be real out here.
You just started this podcast? It feels like you've done like
a few of these.
100 of these. Wow, that's crazy.
You killed it. I feel like, Sean, it's so clear to me. You are so open. Right? Hearing... you just making these moves at a young age, taking on these risks, your ambitions now to go host the Oscars, like that is scary stuff to just go and put out there. And I just feel a lot of respect for you, man.
I really appreciate it. Likewise, man. Likewise.
You,
I mean, look what you built. This. Hey, y'all don't get
trying.
to y'all have not seen the house like I've seen the house, but sheesh.
Thank you, dude. We're trying. All right. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Seriously.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, man. I love it.